Good evening. The People's National Party, PNP, yesterday staged a major protest outside the Savannah Lamar Public General Hospital in Westmoreland, calling for the immediate resignation of Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton over what they claim to be negligence leading up to the deaths of 12 babies at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital. PNP's Region 6 Vice Chairman Wayne Vassiana told Mello TV that the People's National Party believes that it is only fair that they come out and support the grieving mothers and call on the Health and Wellness Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, to resign.
It has to do with the death of the 14 babies that took place at Victoria Jubilee Hospital some months ago that just came to light recently. And we think it is only prudent that we come out and support the mothers and, in all fairness, ask for the minister to step aside. And if you remember quite vividly, in October 2015, a similar thing happened to the then Minister of Health, Dr. Fenton Ferguson. And the Prime Minister himself, along with the rest of Jamaica and the Cabinet, were very, very vocal and called for his resignation. To the point where the Prime Minister was very soft, in that she took too long to ask Dr. Ferguson to step aside. Right here in Savannah at Manning's High School, the Prime Minister took the political podium, and his words were, he can hear the spirits of the dead babies crying, crying, crying. Why did they not keep the JLP in power? Because if the JLP was in power, they would not have died. And he presses on his case to ensure that Dr. Fenton Ferguson was relieved of his position. We are therefore saying, time come for Dr. Tufton to be gone.
Mello TV also spoke to the councillor candidate for the Savannah Lamar Division and secretary for Central Westmoreland Women's Group, Julian Chang, who said she sympathizes with the mothers of the alleged 12 dead babies who are now seeking answers for their children.
I am Julian Chang, the council candidate for the Savannah Lamar Division and the secretary for the Central Westmoreland Women's Group, and I stand here today in sympathy with the mothers of this country, the mothers of the dead babies, the allegedly 14 dead babies. We want answers. I understand the joy of being pregnant, of looking forward to children. As a mother, as a mom, as a mother of 3, I understand the joy of having a child. And right now, I am in sympathy with the mothers who have lost their children. Dr. Christopher Tufton needs to resign, and he needs to answer to the Jamaican people. Time come.
Now, this protest comes following revelations of the deaths of 12 babies at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital a little over a week ago. The babies reportedly died over a 4-month period from the outbreak of a bacterial infection at the maternity hospital. The Health and Wellness Minister has faced criticism over his decision not to alert the country or the Prime Minister about the outbreak. The opposition has since called upon him to resign. However, Dr. Tufton says he retains the confidence of the government and the Prime Minister. The Health and Wellness Minister has been accused of an alleged dereliction of duty in deciding not to tell the country of the outbreak when he became aware, but he has pushed back at those suggestions. Dr. Tufton says he took the decision in an effort to avoid public panic and anxiety. We will bring you more on this story in subsequent newscasts. In other news tonight, the St. James Police have laid criminal charges against the man from the parish who allegedly fatally chopped his mother at their home in Retirement District between Sunday night and Monday morning. Charged with murder is 29-year-old Shemoy Brown, otherwise called Shem, also of Retirement. Detectives say Brown was charged with murder yesterday, shortly after giving a caution statement. Reports coming into our news center are that at about 4:30 p.m. on Monday, 53-year-old Michelle Gail Brown was discovered with multiple chop wounds and her head severed inside her house at Retirement District in Granville. Mrs. Gail Brown, who was employed as a caregiver, did not turn up for work on Monday morning, and calls to her cellular phone from her employer went unanswered. A report was then made to the police at about 4 p.m., and after traveling to her home where she resided with the accused son, it was discovered that the premises was locked from the inside. They forced their way inside and discovered Mrs. Gail Brown's headless body, wrapped in a sheet and lying in a pool of blood. Both her arms were also partially severed from her body. Her head was later found wrapped in a towel in the kitchen. Following investigations, her son was taken into custody. Continuing with the news tonight, 20-year-old Jermaine Hamilton, otherwise called Alex, of Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13, has been arrested and charged following the death of 21-year-old Brian Martin, police officer of Barras Pond Road, Barbican, St. Andrew on October 15. Hamilton has been charged with murder, 4 counts of wounding with intent, and illegal possession of firearm. Reports from the Hunts Bay Police coming into our news center are that Constable Martin and the injured persons were patrons at a wake when Hamilton and other men alighted from a motor vehicle and opened gunfire at the group. When the shooting subsided, Constable Martin and 3 others were found with gunshot wounds. They were all taken to the hospital where Martin was pronounced dead and the others treated and released. Hamilton was apprehended on October 17 and was later pointed out in an identification parade. He was subsequently charged. His co-accused, Kevin Roddock, otherwise called Haji, was fatally shot during a confrontation with the police on October 28. Hamilton's court date is being finalized, and we will bring you more on this story in subsequent newscasts. Still making Mello TV news tonight, Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang says the upcoming gun amnesty will in no way impede the police from carrying out their regular duties. The Firearms Prohibition, Restriction and Regulation Firearms Amnesty Order 2022 that will facilitate the amnesty was approved by the House of Representatives earlier this week. The amnesty that will be in effect from Saturday, November 5 until midnight, Saturday, November 19, will afford persons in possession of illegal or unregistered firearms or ammunition the opportunity to surrender them to the state without the fear of prosecution. However, Dr. Chang, who is also Deputy Prime Minister, warned that if a criminal uses a firearm in an armed robbery, he will be charged in the same way that he would be charged the day after the amnesty. He was speaking during yesterday's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House. Dr. Chang said the 14-day amnesty will target persons with no criminal intent, while noting that penalties under the new Firearms Prohibition, Restriction and Regulation Act 2022, which is now in effect, are stringent and designed to be deterrents to crime. The conditions for the surrender of firearms or ammunition are outlined in the order. These may be handed over to a sub-officer or senior sub-officer on duty at any police station, any designated officer at a Firearms Licensing Authority FLA location, or to an attorney at law on behalf of an individual seeking the amnesty for delivery to the nearest police station. Breaches of the new act will result in penalties ranging from 15 years to life imprisonment. As we continue with the news tonight, detectives from the Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offenses and Child Abuse, CISOCA, are seeking the public's assistance to locate 2 witnesses who are vital to a case currently before the court. They are Shaniqua Martin and Bobette Willis, whose last known address is Norbrook Drive, Kingston 8. They are scheduled to appear before the Home Circuit Court on Tuesday, November 8. Shanuka Martin, Bobette Willis, or anyone knowing their whereabouts is being asked to contact Sisoka at 876-926-4079, Police Emergency 119, or the nearest police station. And those are the stories making news. I am Shelley Hill. Do stay safe, pleasant viewing, and thanks for watching.